10-7, New Mexico has the lead on Utah State as we are set for the second half of play. John Sadak and the College Football Hall of Famer and Randy Cross. What stood out to you in the first half?
I think New Mexico scoring that touchdown is big for their confidence. But I think really what the main thing that I'll be surprised at, and you'll see the stats here in a little bit, is the passing yards or lack thereof for Utah State. With Laga back at quarterback, we really expected him to be more of a force through the air.
Let's see who's doing the dirty work today, brought to you by Coyote Tractor.
Oh, no comparison, no question. Justin Holliday, he is doing the dirty work. He is getting it done. He has 58 yards rushing, and that's the unexpected number. If you're Utah State, you're sitting here thinking, okay, who do we have that we don't expect? You don't expect to have Halliday to have that much yards, especially rushing.
You could feel the confidence growing over the course of the first half. Remember, New Mexico had won the toss and elected to receive, so Utah State will have the ball to begin the second.
How does New Mexico adjust, John? They've had decent halves, but second half adjustments has really been their big downfall.
That was a point of emphasis during the course of practice this week. Brock Lane makes the touch just below the 25. First half stats brought to you by National Car Rental.
Flag down.
Almost 6 yards per carry for the Lobos as we will sort through the laundry committed there on the kick return.
There's those passing yards or lack thereof for Utah State at 66. Time of possession is not that big a deal. You expected New Mexico to hold on to the ball, and Utah State runs so fast.
Personal foul, late hit, receiving team number 33. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
That goes on Max Alford, the starting linebacker. So that's going to back up Blake Anderson's team. Now, Blake Anderson's goal is get to a bowl game. And looking at their schedule, which is foreboding on the back half, with San Jose State and Boise State looming to close out the regular season, he said that makes this game a virtual must-win to accomplish that bowl goal. Briggs is in at running back, not Tyler. Laga keeps. South holds the block, tries to get low, and A.J. Halsey on top of him will lose about half a yard. Deion Hunter there as well.
And the unpredictable nature of this New Mexico defense and what they look like they're going to give you and what you get are two different things. It's pretty wild.
This pass off target, looking for Justin McGriff. And just like that, Randy, it's now third down and a long 10.
Well, you're third and long, so you're right. You're fitting right into Rocky Long's kitchen. Right there, there's Rocky Long. He can attack. He's going to show you blitz and drop in zone.
Backside pressure. Laga spins off a hit. He's going to be dropped at the 10. He'll lose 2. Deion Hunter spun him around and a flag down.
That's going to be unnecessary roughness, but I think that was the official's fault. That was a late whistle. And players are going to play through the whistle. If you don't blow it early enough, they're going to keep playing.
And jawing continues between the two teams. Jonathan Noli, our referee.
Did they call that? Was that Cody Moon again that's going to get this penalty?
The Moon had the horse collar in the first half.
Personal foul, late hit, defense number 58.
Yep.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Let's listen in for the whistle.
Now from that angle, that whistle was late, but he was clearly down. He was clearly on his knees when he got hit. Cody Moon can't do that. You've got to let up then. You cannot finish through. No whistle or not.
Receiver motion, Laga Flicks it out that way. Vaughn's got nothing. Hounded by Riley. He'll lose a couple. Help there from Dante Martin.
So you almost had him off the field once if you're New Mexico there, but that penalty gave him new life. Can they take advantage of that new life?
Now Davis gets a big block up the sideline, chopped out of bounds by Halsey. Able to pick up 7. So here's 3rd and 5.
Another gaggle of receivers that were at the bottom of the screen on the last play. Now they're more of a balanced 2 and 2.
Utah State just 2 of 8, 3rd down of the first half. Just 31% on the year. Big blitz shown on the far side. They bring pressure. Laga, nice look on the quick slant to Cobbs. That'll be good for the first down to the 39. They get 9. A.J. Odom's the stick.
Here comes the pass rush. You spread them out. Plenty of room inside for that nice slant pass. Well delivered by Laga with the wind pretty much at his back on that throw in that direction.
Fake to Briggs. Laga steps into it. Off target. Cobbs was handled by Odoms.
Kind of group substitution there. 2 new defensive linemen, 2 new linebackers.
Yeah, that's something that Blake Anderson spoke about when referencing Rocky Long's defense, how much rotation they show up front.
And they do such a good job because they know they have to get out quickly. So you have to literally sprint on the field to get on the field on Utah State's offense as fast as they go. Comes the blitz.
It's Riley coming to backside. Laga. Nice toss to Justin McGriff. Jarek Reed sandwiches him down to the 45. They get 16.
Nice little seed thrown out there to the left side by Laga to his 6'6", 215-pound wide receiver.
Davis in motion, Briggs up the gut, and he's got nothing. Leutele and Moon were there. He gets 3.
Good rotation, good spin on the ball. Going in the direction that's with the wind.
Briggs picks up a block. Strong throw, tip ball, incomplete.
Pass interference.
Looking for Vaughn, and yes, the flag is down at the 12. Jarek Reed, the second in coverage.
It's going to be an illegal contact, I think.
Reed, their second leading tackler, preseason all-conference.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12-man in formation. 5-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
Is that part of the math in the substitution being off there?
I don't know. There were just 11 guys on the field on that last one. There's 11 there now.
We have not seen Tyler. It's been the true freshman Robert Briggs at running back this drive.
In this game, you better be able to pick up blitzes and pass block. And the freshman is showing ability to do that.
Laga, they need 2. Flags are down. Laga goes down. He's got the first, but is this coming back with Laundry all over between the 40 and 45?
Hands in the face. No, holding. Wow. Little conferring. Maybe we've got offsetting.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Offense, number 78. Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 95. The penalty's offset. Replay 2nd down.
Right tackle Jacob South on the hold.
Right tackle right there, 78. Yeah, that's having a good grasp of your technique. And the hands in the face is inside.
There was Jake Saltonstall starting in. Briggs with a head of steam. Bounces to the 31-yard line. He's able to get 6.
Yeah, Briggs he's listed at 5'6", about 200 pounds. He's very solidly built.
Officials timeout for injury. Stay, keep him.
It looks like Deion Hunter whose arm is dangling a bit oddly as he jogs off, starting middle linebacker. He wears number 42. That was unretired Bobby Santiago's number. Rico Hanna wears Brian Urlacher's unretired 44, two all-time greats. Briggs again, giant gash. And he's ripped down around the 5 by Ronald Wilson, who tried to chop the ball free. He's able to get nearly 25.
And when you're built like Briggs is, you know, you're 5'6", about 185, 190 pounds. You're going to withstand those rips at the ball. He had that thing high and tight, and he even got his other arm over it.
Right back to Briggs, inside run, and Leutele latched onto him. He gets a yard at the 6.
I mean, that is just, that's good running. That's excellent blocking, and that's the shortest distance between 2 points. No faking, no juking, just going.
Sound like you have a good 70s power ballad going there. No, second and goal. Laga entered the game co-leading the team in rushing touchdowns. And we have seen his toughness today.
This is as tight a formation as you're going to see out of this team.
Play fake. Laga eyeing McGriff and whistles that one away.
How about that, John? We've seen them all over the field. We've seen 3 receivers outside the numbers, with the other receiver over on the other side outside the other numbers. Now we see the entire team probably within the hash marks. McGriff now is all the way down below the bottom of the screen. Wide left.
They have both Sturzer and Lane, the tight ends, on the near left off the line. McGriff motions. Legata Briggs into the pile, not much. Down to the 5.
There's a penalty. You've had a couple of bad penalties for New Mexico on this play. The personal foul that added the 15 yards earlier, this is going to go against them.
And it was Moon having words with Sturzer.
You'd stopped him on 3rd down.
Danny Gonzalez standing off the sideline along with a couple of other coaches for New Mexico. Utah State much the same on the other side of the field. Both teams get penalized a decent amount. New Mexico 7 flags a game, 90th in the country. Utah State 8.5 per game, 121st out of 131 teams.
You had a swing by Justin Harris that I'm not sure wasn't answered in another swing.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 97. Unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 80, or excuse me, offense number 83 for throwing a punch. He has been disqualified. That's the first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on number 97. It'll be 3rd down.
So Josh Sturzer is done for Utah State. Justin Harris remains in for New Mexico.
Correction, it'll be 4th down.
And you can see it there. That right hand was brought down.
And, you know, honestly, Justin Harris was more of a glancing blow with an elbow, kind of a push. And Sturzer comes in and takes a swing. That'll get you out every time, especially when it's in that part of the field right in front of an official.
It's now a 23-yard field goal try from Connor Coles, who was missed from 41. And it's a fake! Into the end zone, the kicker, Connor Coles! Touchdown, Utah State!
The second time the Aggies catch New Mexico sleeping. First it was on a fake punt. This time, little to no reaction or rush on a short field goal, and they hand the ball off for an easy touchdown for the kicker. Yeah, the kicker.
We have seen a punter fake punt run for a 1st down, and now field goal kicker fake field goal touchdown run. And a big point after. Boy, does Coles convert.
Coles, the grad student from Bozeman, Montana, takes that quick handoff from his holder, straight ahead. New Mexico dumbfounded, not reacting, and it costs them a touchdown.
The Connor Coles game. Utah State is 3 for 3 on 4th down, with 2 of the conversions coming on runs by the kicker, one by a punter. Here a touchdown by place kicker Connor Coles.
Yeah, that whole touchdown drive is a pat on the back for Utah State overall and an indictment against New Mexico. Penalties, dumb plays. There's no way you give up. You stopped them at least twice on 3rd down.
Halfway deep in the end zone, a bent knee, and a touchback. Tomorrow, it's an NFL on CBS doubleheader. Early action features a key AFC East matchup. Josh Allen's high-scoring Bills hit the road, date with the Jets and their tenacious D. Later, an important battle in the NFC. Matthew Stafford leads the Rams into Tampa to take on Tom Brady's Bucks. The day begins noon Eastern with the NFL Today.
I like tenacious D.
I do too.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
It was a heck of a matchup in the divisional round last year. Not sure if a pick of destiny will be involved in the...
What a difference a year makes.
So here it's New Mexico, which led at the break, trailing early in the second. And a big hole. On the very first play, Nate Jones veered out of bounds by Ike Larson after he gets over 40 yards.
Well, exactly what Danny Gonzalez asked for when we talked to him earlier this week is what he's getting. Getting a big rushing performance out of his quarterback and a great rushing performance out of his offensive team and his running backs. This kind of patchwork offensive line is doing one heck of a job against a defense for Utah State. John, almost looks like it's getting a little worn down.
Especially on the inside. Over 100 yards now for Jones. He got 43 on that prior run. Rumbles here for about 3. Max Alford takes him out.
And don't forget their problems with scoring and finishing drives off. Just because they scored once for the first time since October 8th, that scored a touchdown, doesn't mean it goes away.
And
got to keep track of it.
And second half woes have been significant, particularly for the offense. Holiday on second down, call it 8. Jones, he looks a step slow there. And a couple of Aggies latch on Yanwu and Vongpachong. He earns 3. But he looks winded, and he's going to sub out.
You know why he looks slower? He had guys on his legs.
Oh, that'll
do it.
But even as he approached,
he didn't have that pop.
Yeah. So now here's 3rd down and 4. So as he collects his breath, Zach Vigil subs in. 4 of 9 on 3rd down is New Mexico today. Entered second worst in America at 22%. Holiday option pitch, and there is nothing. Oh, they read that well. Max Alford hammers him for a loss of 5.
Yeah, Jeremiah Banda, the defensive coordinator for Utah State. His defense just attacks. They love to attack. They attack there. They guessed, and they guessed right.
Well, Danny Gonzalez sees the offense stall after that big initial burst from Nate Jones. There is no return man set up for Utah State. Are they expecting fake?
If they're smart.
Aaron Rodriguez, the punter. He does kick it. There's no Aggie nearby. Lobos down it on the half-yard line. Utah State will be pinned as deep as they can be.
Well, you make a gamble like that, not putting out a returner, that's what happens. Wow, almost got that ball to the line, but didn't quite make it.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Trico Wiper Blades. Protect yourself and those you love, even when it's raining cats and dogs. By Coyote Tractor. And by National Car Rental. Go national. Go like a pro.
Multiple state championships for Cooper Lega. 2 in football, 2 in wrestling, 2 as a javelin thrower. Starting at his own half-yard line against a grossly unpredictable and chaos-inducing defense coordinated by Rocky Long.
New Mexico has to keep their poise. They lost it last drive.
Inside run, just trying to get some breathing room, and they earn the 4, so a gain of about 3.
I mean, it's so critical, especially after a drive like that. You stopped them twice on 3rd downs, but penalties kept the drives going. You gave up a touchdown on a dive by the kicker. It's some very out-of-character kind of plays. They've got to start settling down.
Once again, it's Briggs, the freshman. Pinballs off the first hit, gets chipped down. At around the 5, he gets a yard. Once again, we do not see Calvin Tyler here, the by far primary and highly successful running back for Utah State. And I am not seeing him on the sidelines right now.
Yeah, after seeing the way that Briggs has been running and blocking, honestly, the last drive or so, they're not missing James.
Lega keeps, slides down. Almost slide tackled Rico Hanna. He'll be shy.
That was a smart play by Lega. I know he didn't get his first down, and he's going to come up 2 yards short, and they're going to have to punt. But there's an example of a play, kind of what Blake Anderson was talking about, that his quarterback, he wanted to see him be a little smarter about contact. He could have pressed that more aggressively, and it would have ended in some pretty aggressive contact, which is not always good coming off a head injury.
Constantly out of his end zone. Tremarius Lewis, backup punt returner. Second time he's been out, has to retreat. He loses it, and it's scooped up by Utah State. He muffed the return, and the Aggies take over at the New Mexico 41-yard line. Jamie Nance there to recover on special teams, and he's being carried off the field.
The punt with the wind sailed and carried. That's why he had to back up, he had to turn, he had to almost try to catch it over the shoulder. And when he did, it went through his arms, and it was a muff, and it ends up being a recovery for Utah State.
Lewis only had 2 returns on the year. Luke Wysong by far is their more usual punt returner. We've seen Lewis out there once before today, and a giant mistake. And now Briggs, as the sun beams down, bulldozes a path to the 34.5 as he's able to get about 7.
That's the punter, Kotzensley's second huge impact play, a fake and a huge punt setting up a muff.
Briggs again needing 3. He's going to be short by a yard, stymied there by Omar Darame. Randy, we have seen some bonkers stuff, particularly on special teams today.
Yeah, you can go months in college football and not see special teams plays like we've seen today. Fake field goal
for a touchdown.
A dive for the touchdown by the kicker.
Lega checking down, flag down. Could it be a free play? Aggressive defense from A.J. Odoms, who's been excellent in coverage today. He smothered Cobbs.
That was immediate. Did they line up offsides?
Jonathan Noli, referee.
Offside.
Yep.
Defense, number 30. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Ray Leutele, who's playing for the first time since September 17th when he broke his foot against UTEP.
Right there. Walking up, and by walking up, staying up. And what he did, he stayed up, he stayed offsides. Good composure by Lega, getting that snap off, making sure he was offsides by the time it got snapped.
New Mexico has been outscored in third quarters this year 74-3. And this is the most purposeful drive Utah State has had. Off the play fake, Lagat double move, end zone, incomplete. Jalen Royals. Ronald Wilson was there in coverage.
Nice coverage down the field. No one was going to get a shot at catching that one. That's right in between the receivers. That was a very effective non-completion. You got nowhere to go. Make sure it's somewhere where there isn't anybody to catch it, especially their guys.
2nd and 10. Lagat steps into it, throws it to nobody. Back of the end zone.
Hey, Robert Briggs did a really nice job of blitz pickup on that play. And not only the fact that he did the blitz pickup block, he stayed with the blitz pickup block.
And for an undersized back who's going to go out wide here as they go empty, you've liked his physicality and feel?
He's undersized, but that doesn't mean you got to read the memo that says it.
They go 5 wide. What a contrast, this violent defense against the spread out offense. Lagat is going to be sacked. Dropped by Jaden Phillips. He had 5 total tackles on the year, and it'll be a loss of about 5 yards.
Yeah, Jaden Phillips coming off the edge. Pure motor play. There's several guys up on the next level that do things like that on a regular basis. But good ripped right through the attempted block by Cole Mounts, goes right through that arm and goes into the quarterback.
So here's a 49-yard field goal try from Connor Coles. He's missed from 41. He ran for a touchdown on a fake.
With the wind.
49-yard attempt for Coles. And he drills it. It all started with the muff on the return, and Utah State adds points, a touchdown lead. Special teams have made a major impact today.
Where do you want to start? We'll start with the punt. Fake punt, first down. No reaction from New Mexico's punt return team. Then you got the kicker, runs a dive for a touchdown. Then you have a muff on a punt that sets up another scoring drive. Special teams have been monstrous so far in this game, and every one of them have been monstrous against New Mexico.
And with that advantage, the Aggies up a touchdown. The winds have picked up again. Those flags are straight right to left with a little English toward the far New Mexico sideline.
They have some smaller trees in the areas on the open ends on the sides over here, and they are whipping. This wind is just doing nothing but getting harder.
Weather Service had it at about 20 plus. They're going to use a holder here because it wouldn't stay on the tee for Elliot Nimrod. So Nimrod boots it out of the hold of Xavier Steele. That'll be a touchback. Now we take a look at the college football playoff poll powered by Ram Trucks.
Oh, when that came out on Tuesday night, got a lot of people's attention. Tennessee currently trailing Georgia 24-6 in Athens. Alabama, that game tonight against LSU, that's going to be something. Don't be surprised if LSU beats Bama.
Really? Calling for Tiger upset. You've been spot on that Georgia game. Nate Jones in the backfield. They overload that left side. Wysong in motion. Jones off a Joyner on the first hit. Second man and Tatum is there. He gets about 4. Forward progress. They'll make it to the 30. Gain of 5. Well, the ground game has been there for Danny Gonzalez's team, but here they are down a touchdown, late stage third quarter. The passing attack is not there.
Well, they're going the wrong direction to get too much of a passing game going here, and they know it. It's got to be short. They've got to be accurate. And the last thing you want is a ball that's not accurate, because then it's going to be tipped in the air and then anybody catches it.
Wysong in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Holiday off balance, slings it sidearm, incomplete, looking for Andrew Erickson. Aggressive defense from Michael Onwenu.
Nice job by Wysong coming in motion. I don't know if he intentionally blocked it, but he came in motion. Bang. He and James.
Well, the Lobos 4 of 10 on third down. Alexander is subbed in at running back, not Nate Jones. Does that telegraph pass? Wysong in motion. Holiday forced to step up. He extends and he's got it. Now this spot actually has him right at the marker.
Right at it, and they're moving, so they're going to give him that. It's going to be a first down. Vong Pachong just barely gets the leg, sweeps the leg and makes the tackle. But the way he was falling, the ball was out far enough to give him the first down.
Alexander remains in at running back. Holiday, his second start. Transfer from Fresno City Junior College. New Mexico was his only four-year option. And this run, half-yard loss. Swallowed up in a helmet free, as Alford will have to leave the field for at least a play. Vong Pachong the stick. Have we seen as much option as you had thought?
Well, you're seeing it, especially going this way. The wind is going this way, John.
Yep.
So that's why when it's blowing like that, you're not seeing many passes on the right side, and you're seeing more option. It's just smarter into the wind not to do as much passing.
And this pass just a little short of Trey Hall.
Again, a ball that starts at about 4 feet off the ground, and by the time it gets to the receiver, it's down skidding almost. That wind is blowing that direction. It's almost pushing the ball down. And not almost, it is pushing the ball down.
So now it's 3rd and 10. It's been overwhelmingly ground attack from New Mexico. That's expected. Nate Jones remains in.
Do you blitz here or do you play coverage? I'd play coverage.
Play fake. Needing 10. On the run, he's got nothing. Loses the ball out of bounds. Got double teamed there by Nevis, who helped knock it free. Had some help from Vaughns.
Yeah, Vaughns did a nice job closing. And then Nevis just accelerated. Vaughns was coming at him pretty quick, but Nevis closed. Knocked that ball out of his arms.
And Nevis had a career-high 8 tackles in the Wyoming game.
Look for a lower punt. Probably into the short side of the field, too.
Ruling on the field is a forward fumble out of bounds. By rule, the ball returned to the spot of the fumble. It'll be 4th down.
We'll back him up even more to where the ball was lost by Holiday. Aaron Rodriguez punts more often than anyone in the FBS. It's almost 7 punts per game. And on the year, he averages almost 56 yards a punt. That's 7th best in the FBS.
Well, he's not going to be able to kick it high going to his right. He's got to go to his left, go low, get some roll out of this thing.
Cooper Jones, return man north of his 42. Nearly got a hand on that. Jones plummets forward and collapses on the ball. And they'll be right around the 44-yard line. Late stage 3rd quarter. Aggie offense back out. Defense time for Danny Gonzalez. So it can go beyond the flagpole, right? How do you measure the wind? Well, you can take a look at the upright, see how it's bending in the breeze. Perhaps a beard or two could tell the tale of which way the wind blows. It has made a major impact in this game on both sides.
Well, it's parting that beard pretty good.
Now, Utah State, we have not seen Calvin Tyler Jr. for some time. Jordan Wilmore is currently in at running back. We've also seen Robert Briggs overwhelmingly as the primary ball carrier. They go split backfield here with Terrell Vaughn. He motions out. And the run for Wilmore's had limited touches today. He has Little make that Lagan the keep. Got me 2. He's going to lose 2 thanks to Kyler Drake. Now, Tyler had 100 yards rushing in 3 of his last 4 games when he saw his yard per carry number significantly increase. But the Oregon State transfer has been absent for a while, and we have not seen him in the sidelines in some time.
Little different, little softer look for the New Mexico defense.
Now the run for Wilmore, transfer from Fresno State, gets nothing. Jake Saltonstall stymies him. I did not have Wilmore with a touch on the season entering this game. Their next man up would be John Gentry, who was a deep rotational running back last year, got hurt early this year, and has not appeared in a game all season.
Santana and Saltonstall the last 2 series done a good job cutting the run off inside.
Pressure on. Laga one-on-one right sideline. Bobbled, incomplete. Off the hands of Otto Tia, who does not have a catch in his short career.
Just brings this thing down the field. The ball sails a little bit. Never really had to slow down, kept the speed going, just couldn't quite track it down as it bounced off his hands.
And now a change here for New Mexico. Luke Wysong has been in motion a lot on offense, and I have to think that's part of why he had not been the return man twice. But after Lewis muffed the last punt, there's Wysong to return. Constantly with the wind. Booms this ball. That's got some length and too much all the way into the end zone and back thereof. Now, this game has had an odd lack of flow. The limited flow has been the ground game of New Mexico and opportunistic chances that have been capitalized by Utah State.
Yeah, and some fits of good aggressive running by New Mexico, but it's been the strange special teams plays. We've documented the punter, the fake punt, and the field goal run. Don't forget, we had a return out to about the half-yard line early in this game, too. Another special team faux pas by New Mexico.
Split backfield, keeper. And out of the first hit, Holiday, Ike Larson takes him out after 6.
Yeah, it's worth saying again, Holiday's a young man, did not run an option-style offense at his old high school outside of Fresno or at Fresno City College, where he was at last year, and has really learned the option concepts and rules and principles on the fly here.
He's been named the starter the rest of the way, usurping the role from Kansas transfer Miles Kendrick. Tight end in the backfield is an extra blocker. He keeps to the left side again. It goes right into the clutches of Byron Vaughn's forward progress, silenced at the 28. He gets 2.
Well, the bad news is that run didn't work, and he got hit pretty good. The good news is we're going to change quarters, and they get the win now.
Timeout. Utah State, their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
And is
Clock
that
operator.
what Utah State is
Please
thinking
add 11
about? Make
seconds
them
to the
go
game
into this
clock.
wind here.
Yep, 11 seconds, please.
On 3rd down.
They want them to have to do this last play of the 3rd quarter into this win.
And so Ephraim Banda's defense will have another chance on 3rd down and call it 2.
And then it's going to be incumbent upon Aaron Rodriguez to if he has to punt, to really bomb that punt, much like we've seen on the Utah State side.
And so the wind, a major effect on the day. Blake Anderson told you, Randy, when we spoke with him in person this week, hey, yesterday we were on the practice field, it was 35-mile-an-hour winds. Today we're out there was nothing. I have no idea. And today it's been very much a home field advantage. It's impacted each team negatively, but I feel like it's injured New Mexico more.
A lack of composure has wounded New Mexico more than anything else, especially on special teams.
They have brought in
Power I.
O.J. Bartley, nose tackle, as a lead blocker, and whistles No play,
There's
timeout
no
first.
snap. The defense was not given ample time to substitute. Still third down.
And the umpire forgot to get in there to stop him. Our official came screaming in from the outside. He's supposed to be standing right there by the ball, telling the center he can't snap the ball. If there's no one there, they're going to go. And they did.
Here's that power eye look again with Bartley, Whithoft, Jones. Second effort. It looks like he's got it.
Yep.
He gets to the 30. They're going to move the chains. First down. And Utah State burned a timeout. Remember that if that comes up later.
That's the end of the third quarter.
So we are through 3. First down for New Mexico. You are watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by the Home Depot. A friendship forged a quarter century ago, strengthened by tragedy. The two head coaches, Danny Gonzalez, Blake Anderson, met on the New Mexico staff in the late 90s. Blake Anderson has suffered significant tragedy. Lost his wife, Wendy, in August of 2019 after she had battled breast cancer. Lost his dad 6 months later. A year later, his brother was diagnosed with cancer. In February of this year, he lost his son, took his own life in February, and started a charitable endeavor in his memory. The Robert Kaysen Anderson Fund for Mental Health Awareness and Aid on campus for student athletes. And the first phone call that he got in the wake of his son's passing was from Danny Gonzalez, who presented him with a unique and significant gift yesterday, delivered to the family home. He texted all the other coaches in the Mountain West, and they agreed to each donate $1,000 to the fund to try to show their strength and teamwork with Blake Anderson, that they are with him in these toughest of times. That was a pretty classy move by Danny Gonzalez.
Very, very, very classy move by Danny Gonzalez. Spent all that time together on the staff for Rocky Long at New Mexico and have been lifelong friends.
Yeah, their wives, close friends. There were some great Rocky Long stories this week.
And kudos to all the other coaches in the Mountain West for stepping up too.
Motion from Chad Alexander. Jones, the inside run, stood up by Hunter Reynolds. He'll get only a yard. Daniel Greshik was in there as well. That'll bring up third down. I think my personal favorite Rocky Long story this week was Blake Anderson talking about pickup hoops at the pit in their days at New Mexico. And Rocky Long decided to skip weightlifting that day and play hoops. Blake Anderson was the first pick in that pickup game. Rocky Long was the second and immediately said, "I'm going to D up you, Mr. First Round pick."
Yeah. That's not basketball as much as it's wrestling when it happens with football guys.
Holiday on third down, flings it out to Alexander. Excellent tackle. Nevis drops him after only a yard.
That is another accelerated tackle by Nevis. We saw it earlier, just zipping across the screen and knocking a Lobo out of bounds. And there, that's clutch. That's a man-on-man, one-on-one, open field tackle.
The clouds have thickened as they continue to race over top and whisper the tips of the mountains in the distance.
Now can Rodriguez flip the field?
Rodriguez, good hang. Jones, fair catch wave around his own 13-yard line. Will step aside. One-score game in the fourth. College football on CBS Sports Network, presented by the Home Depot. In a shroud of gray clouds that surround and nearly descend upon this stadium, the weather has been a major factor. CBS Sports embraces authentic stories. We invite you to share yours. Hashtag #MyNativeStory. Teton Saltis, offensive lineman at New Mexico, 2016 to 2020. A member of the Oglala Lakota tribe. He was the recipient of the Werfel Trophy Award given to the FBS player that best exhibits exemplary community service. His platform based around helping children through the Save the Children Action Network. Kudos to him. Had time with the Jets, most recently in the USFL. Briggs on the carry. Earns about 3. So, Randy, you were talking while we were away about how the conditions have inverted on Utah State here.
Yeah, now it's Utah State that's incumbent upon the run, or reliant upon the run. If you're going to throw, he's got to be to your left.
Goes over the middle off the play fake. Terrell Vaughn absorbs the hit that came in from Ronald Wilson, and he gets the first down.
Yeah, you drop straight back and you throw to the receiver coming from your left across the middle. Wind blowing diagonally.
Briggs, oh, what a hit. He had slipped through that small hole, and then Benji Johnson lit him up at around the 34. He's able to get 5.
Benji Johnson puts a good old-fashioned leather shoulder hit on him. That's hitting through an opponent and not to the opponent.
Might be a free play. Looked like movement from Saltonstall. Bobble catch. Vaughn again, middle of the field. And there is Wilson. Bear hugs to slow him up at the 38. That would be a 28-yard gain.
Nice job by Laga throwing the ball effectively.
Offside. Defense, number 95. The penalties declined. Result of the play, first down.
And throwing the ball, the ribbons on the goalpost seem to be calming down a little bit, throwing the ball very effectively in the middle of the field. Not quite as, flags aren't quite as stiff as they were a little while ago. Now they actually have some wave to them.
Briggs remains in the backfield. Laga, the delayed handoff, threw the first hit but not the second. Kyler Drake pops him down for a loss of 5.
Well, if the first guy doesn't get you, Drake's going to get you second. Because Drake coming off the side there, coming off that block, did a really nice job of wrapping the tackle.
2nd and 15, Lane the extra blocker near side. Not much space for Briggs. Earns just shy of the 40, gets about 3.
So, you know, if you're playing a punting game, a field position game, and obviously offenses want to score points. But here on 3rd down, if you're going to set up a kick, you're going to pin New Mexico back pretty good here now that you flipped the field. Took over the ball well inside your 20. Now you've moved the ball this far, you got a chance to really do some business.
3rd and 12, Laga finds Cobbs. He's able to make the catch at the 29.5. He'll be short. What do you do?
Well, it's 4th down. First thing you start with is you've got a play called here. Are you gonna bark or are you gonna go? If you're barking, you're looking for a jump. New Mexico's discipline hasn't been that good. Maybe you get them to jump.
Showing blitz, needing a yard. Laga turns it upfield, gets the block. He's got the first down, spins out of the hit, spins out of another, and he gets propelled forward by Cody Moon. Picks up the first down on a 13-yard keeper.
Yeah, you get a little tired. You get a little sloppy with your tackling. That's what's happened to New Mexico so far on this drive. New Mexico trying to time that blitz up. Laga doing a good job of checking.
That was part of what Utah State looked at in its off week, making checks, looking to the sideline to adjust to defenses.
And they've got remember the pace they had earlier? Not as much pace now. Now they're thinking more about the clock late.
Blitz on, Briggs threw it, carries a man. He had Leu Tele on his back and got an extra couple to an 8-yard run.
Now they're thinking eating the clock and taking away your oxygen.
Laga, pump, throws as he's hit back in the end zone, knocked away. Pressure from Leu Tele. There is a flag down.
Is that in the holding area?
Massive personnel change for New Mexico here.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 56. The penalties declined. 4th down.
That's on Cole Motes.
Well, in this offense, Utah State does a lot of RPO, run pass option. And in a run pass option, where the play kind of drags on, that's when the offensive linemen get downfield.
So here's the field goal try from 27 yards from Connor Coles. The winds have shifted. The clouds are moving left to right. The flags as well. It's in his favor. And he drills it. Second field goal make of the game for Coles, and a 2-score lead for the Aggies.
Brent Stover in New York, number 16, Illinois, needing a fourth-quarter comeback against Michigan State. Isaiah Williams with a touchdown, plus they got the 2-point conversion. 23-15 game, guys.
Well, the Illini trying to come back while New Mexico seeks the same. The rain is on the near horizon. Some ponchos are out. The wind has shifted literally, and we cannot see the mountains beyond the end zone to our left anymore.
The rain is not near. The rain is about 3 streets away.
Yes. That was a picturesque mountain view that is now pure mist and cloud.
So the wind is now left to right as the rainstorm comes in.
Let's take a look at today's Geico difference makers go on the ground with the Lobos. Career day for Nathaniel Jones, 146 yards rushing. Does have a 24-yard touchdown run, snapped the long drought, and special teams have been special for Utah State.
They have been incredibly special all the way around. Every phase, the punter, the kicker, the muff punt, all their points have come off special teams mistakes by New Mexico.
Just about sideways rain is now here. And remember that Justin Holiday had played almost no football lifetime in wet weather. In fact, the concerns were so significant that his head coach, Danny Gonzalez, had a water gun at practice and was squirting him in the face.
Spray bottle.
Yes. Was spraying him in the ear hole. He said they brought out a 5-gallon bucket and dunked the ball in it immediately before he snapped throughout all of their last work on Friday.
And he's from Fresno. He says, we kind of been in a drought for a while. So rain, no, not a whole lot of it.
Keeps it here, loses his footing, and he is silenced by Greshik. No gain. So now it's a passing attack that has been limited on the day, going into the wind that is totally shifted, and the rain has arrived in force.
Yeah, and the time that Danny Gonzalez's offense was in the third quarter going into the wind, going the other way, the wind in the subsequent 15, 20 minutes has flipped, and now his offense is going back into the wind in the fourth quarter.
Holiday steps up, and he gets swung down by Nevis, who has done an excellent job at open field pursuit. Only a couple of yards. Max Alford there.
Yeah, you hear the term closing speed. That's closing speed that Nevis has. When he accelerates the tackles like that, that's closing on the guy with the ball. And then he has the discipline and the technique to make the tackles once he gets there.
Now third down, and remember the chatter we had in the later stage of the first half? New Mexico isn't a pure triple option team, but it passes so infrequently and poorly. Time is a big issue. Low snap. There is debris all over with these winds, and out of the tackle box, Holiday forced to just throw the ball down into the ground. Pressure from Byron Vaughns as the rain is spilling sideways into our booth.
Yeah, there are leaves and wrappers and everything else, and a wind that was blowing quartering from the right is now dead left to right, screaming across this field. So this punt here is as into the wind as you could possibly get, or into the wind and driving rain. Good field position incoming for Utah State.
Rodriguez to punt. He has trouble. Able to get it off, and it wilts in the wind. Oh, it dies south of the 45. Touched by the Lobos at about the 43-yard line.
It got stopped like it hit a virtual wall at the 45-yard line, and it came straight down knuckleball out of the air.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Papa John's. The Shaq-a-Roni is back at Papa John's, fit to feed a Shaq-sized family. And by Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Between the wind, the rain, the clouds, and the fog, feel like you got the magic 8-ball out. Reply hazy to offense. Try again later. And there's movement on the right side.
False start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Waylon Lapuaho, the first true freshman offensive lineman to start for Utah State in 17 years. Randy, getting pretty wet up here.
It's working on it. It's threatening. It is threatening.
Briggs volleys off the Wilson hit. Forward progress to the 45, gets 3 yards. But time is very much on Utah State's side.
And they're going to eat as much time as they can. They started on the last drive, went away from their pace MO, and are now into clock-eating, ground-eating MO.
Time of possession, they've drawn nearly even. It was lopsided in New Mexico's favor in the first half, and movement left side, it looked like, from Edwards.
Yeah, a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes by their line.
Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Goes on Alo. He fills in a lot at center and both guard spots. They rotate him heavily.
He's their third guy, if you will, on all 3 positions inside.
Briggs, ripped down by Bryce Santana, gets 2. Now, Utah State has dominated this series, claiming each of the last 5 by an average of more than 20 points per. New Mexico led at the break here today.
Well, they led 10-7, and they have had some situations where they've had leads or been right there with teams, and the second half has proven to be their largest obstacle to overcome, and today it stayed the same.
Third down and long. Briggs just keep it on the ground, work the clock. Into the pile. Dropped at around the 43, gets 4. And it looks like New Mexico is going to call a timeout here, freeze the clock at 4:30.
Timeout, New Mexico. Their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
We'll take a 30-second timeout as well. 10-point affair. Punt time to come. Utah State the lead here in Logan. Coming up next, our coverage of college football wraps. More Mountain West action. UNLV head-to-head against the Aztecs of San Diego State. We invite you to keep it here on CBS Sports Network. Doug Brumfield, it appears, will be back. He is out of the field warming up right now for UNLV, and there's a difference with and without him at quarterback.
Yeah, especially, well, not only the obvious winning record, but also the percentage of everything they do passing rises dramatically when he's in.
Able to practice this week and missed the last couple of games. In concussion protocol. Low snap. Holiday hounded. And driven out of bounds by a trio of Aggies after a yard. Ike Larson led the trio.
But nowhere really for Holiday to go. The pocket starts to collapse. He goes out right. And the posse is not far behind.
Well, Vaughns has been a difference maker. Ephraim Banda told us it was huge for him to be back. His length, the way he could turn the quarter. Nothing there. It's Patrick Joyner, another DN. Flag out. That'll be a loss of 7 as it stands.
Could be a face mask, John. And it might go against Utah State.
And Joyner, who was mostly a linebacker in his days at Miami. Here's the word.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 0, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Goes against Patrick Joyner right there in the middle. As Holiday started to escape, the first thing he grabbed was not jersey, it was face mask. It's a pretty good call coming from the far side of the field, and that was the only official that reacted and threw a flag, was one of the guys furthest away.
Zach Vigil is in. Entered the game with 1 carry on the year. Holiday off the hands, incomplete. Dom Tatum leapt for the free ball and couldn't quite corral it before it crashed down to the turf.
Yeah, Holiday's protection is not going to last more than about 2.5 seconds right now, because you're in a position where you're getting all your receivers out into routes, and your offensive line has 5 blockers. If they have 5 rushers, you better be perfect.
Press coverage on the outside in a sideways driving rain. Holiday, deeper look, double coverage, incomplete. It was Tatum again. Flag out. And Tatum, who is
Pass interference, defense, number 4, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Tatum, a relative of the late former Raider, the 3-time Pro Bowler Jack Tatum, a college football Hall of Famer from his Ohio State days.
Yeah, see that arm bar reaching back? You'll see it again from this angle. Reaching back and sort of holding Wysong back. That's why that flag came out. Good call. Not a spot foul at this level. It goes from where the previous spot was.
Holiday, pocket collapsing again, flag out again, ball free, scooped up by Utah State and Hunter Reynolds. And Reynolds all the way to the end zone.
I think it's going to be holding against New Mexico.
A 51-yard scoop and score on the fumble recovery by Hunter Reynolds.
Ruling on the field is a fumble, recovered by the defense, returned for a touchdown.
75 offense.
Holding, offense number 75. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
New Mexico was concerned about ball security if the rain came, and here it is.
J.C. Davis, the left tackle, is called for holding. Ball comes out of Holiday's hands, bounces perfectly. When you're having one of those days on the other end of it, that's how the ball comes out. Good job stripping it out. Holiday hasn't played much in the rain. He's just learned a valuable lesson.
Point after is good. Hunter Reynolds takes plumb advantage of Holiday's mistake. Hunter Reynolds grabbed the free football and went half the field for a TD.
One more time. Good timing on the rush. Pocket collapses. Ball isn't protected. You know, normally you'd say, hey, you got to get the second hand on the ball. They were ripping his arms away from getting his second hand on the ball. He could only hold it with one, and then they ripped that one away from the ball.
So they credit the force to Vong Pachong, who was there with Joyner. And a touchback, 3 minutes to go. Today's player of the game brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Wideout Terrell Vaughn, some big grabs, particularly in the second half.
Oh, absolutely. His big plays early on made a gigantic difference in this game, giving Utah State that early lead. trailed at halftime, but boy, since halftime, they have not looked back.
And twice he had chunk grabs middle of the field. That was at the time going into the wind.
Right as it flipped, right before it flipped, actually.
Holiday. There's just nothing there. And now that margin after that 5-yard gain is so daunting for what New Mexico is capable of. And keep in mind the defense of the Lobos, due in large part to injury, they have had 47 different starters this year, by far the most in the FBS.
I mean, they're a Mountain West team. They have 3 receiving touchdowns on the season. They've had inconsistency and injury at quarterback. They've had it across their roster.
Made a change at offensive coordinator, and here it's Holiday with nothing. Forward progress was stalled as the pocket eroded. Greshik was there. That's going to be a loss of 9. And their woes in second halves continue. In the last 5 games, 35 possessions, not 1 touchdown. 3 field goals today, 4 drives empty. This is the 5th.
Well, it speaks to a lot of things, but one of the major mitigating circumstances you talked about is all those injuries and all those different starters and a severe lack of continuity.
Backside pressure. And he's down again. That initial drive came from Vaughn's. Greshik finishes him off, loss of 4 with help from Joyner. But the pocket just totally fell off the planet thanks to Vaughn's.
Yeah, Vaughn is doing a really nice job of pressing it from his side and collapsing it. And then the other defensive linemen are rallying to the ball from there. Once that pocket collapses, and in Holiday's defense, he's not watching the rush. It does not appear. He's keeping his eyes down the field. He just has to assume he needs to protect the ball a lot because he's got a lot of defensive linemen around him.
Now they have to go for it here. Low snap. Steps into it, needing 19. Incomplete. And 52 seconds remain. So Utah State, the goal is a bowl, well on their way to cementing the win here against New Mexico. A travel to Hawaii to come next week, and 2 tough tilts. Today would be their 4th win. They're going to have to win 2 more, including San Jose State and at Boise State, to close out the year on CBS.
Well, there's a decent chance they can get Hawaii and then win one of those other 2 games to get bowl eligible, which after what they've been through at the early part of this season is pretty remarkable.
A victory formation for Laga, back from concussion. And this is going to be a familiar sight. As the final seconds fade, it'll be a 6th consecutive win for Utah State against New Mexico. And the average margin of victory in that time, well in excess of a couple of touchdowns. And the woes continue for the Lobos. It's going to be 9 straight conference losses as the offense evaporates in the second half. Utah State led by special teams largely on the day and defense. The Aggies get it done.
Well, defensive coaches always love to preach, you know, if they don't score, we can't lose. Well, it's pretty true on the other side, too. If you're no threat to score, you can't win. And as long as New Mexico can't score, they can't win.
The rain arrived in the late stage. Laga, a victorious return, and this is the latest in the Mountain West, with Utah State securing its 4th win overall, its 3rd in league play. New Mexico remains winless in last place in the Mountain Division. And New Mexico will have Air Force on CBS Sports Network next week in this same window. Our final score, 27-10, Utah State dispatches of the Lobos. For the Hall of Famer, Randy Cross, and our entire crew, I'm John Sadak. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. With this game complete, UNLV San Diego State to come. We send it to the New York studio. It's Brent Stover and the gang standing by. So long from Logan, where the Aggies claim it 27-10.